All right, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, worshippers of all ages, to the top of the winners bracket here in King of the Sea 16. After 5 days of play, we're down to 2 teams who are at the moment still undefeated in this playoff bracket. That is BONKZ and RESIN. Spawning here into Game 1 on Warriors Path. In the green, we have BONKZ fielding a 4-destroyer lineup. We're looking at Admiral Tester's Kleber, Battleship Nagato's Gdansk, reload, and a little bit of extra range there. Todd Howard's Z42, and Dyer's gearing here as he kind of gets T-boned by Chukwuama's Petro right behind him.
The love tap.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit of friendly love tap. Also heading to that flank is Disquarius's Minotaur. That is a Manitar build with radar and not smoke, and Murica's Montana, backing a little bit of survivability, fire prevention, a little bit of extra heal, and basics of survivability. Rounding things out on the opposite side, we have Addy's Napoli, running outnumbered and range, and leaning into the secondaries just a little bit there. Secondary module in slot 3. And then Kermit Seppuku, love the name, and a Poison. That is a very, very secondary build Poison, Zath.
Yes, very.
What are RESIN bringing here as we got to get going here? Almost got guys on cap circles.
Yeah, interesting too. If you notice, BONKZ was completely shuffled. So it looks like they had plans, and then of course the training room's nah.
Spawn mechanics say nah.
Yep. All right. Well, about to get into the A cap for RESIN wearing red this game is Triarch in a Kleber, doing what you would expect him to do. Eagle Lance is in a COTS build gearing. With Elgar the Smoke Hider, and the Des Moines unique upgrade. Wolfman 85 taking some shots on Kermit's Poison already. Taking some hits there. Wolfman is in your typical sniper spec build on the Vermont. Mad Dog in the Daring is already starting to get into the cap. He touches it there. Is he in anybody's radar? He's within, he hasn't gotten in the cap yet, but he's within Chukwuama's radar. Marseille and Ragnar banned this game. $1.99 for Guac in the Mosfa, the typical traditional Mosfa position with a unique upgrade. Vermont's Peyton the Rock Hider, typical sniper build. Big Boy 69 is in a unique upgrade Des Moines, and Frice is in a 420 Blaze It All Harugamo as C gets picked up by BONKZ's Kleber at the same time essentially as RESIN's Kleber picks up A. Commence toiletable.
Well, we'll see, right? Both teams kind of, I wouldn't call it an even split per se, Zath. And I think the reason I wouldn't say that is that Poison position is very, very interesting to me. What are you going to do with, you've pulled Kermit into this channel. Now what are you going to do with him?
I am now telling the Poison exactly what he can do with a lifetime supply of chocolate.
Okay.
Well, no, but I mean, that's kind of, like where you're at, right? Like, what am I going to do in this position?
Yeah.
He's ready to jump down the 7 line, much like what we saw the Kremlin do.
Yeah.
The difference is he's in a German battleship, maybe better armor, and he's got the Hydro. And of course, all the secondaries. So, it almost feels like the last game on Estuary where we saw that Schlieffen in the middle there, ready to do something. And if you don't watch it at the right time, you blink, you'll miss it. I kind of want to just keep looking at him. But I know I shouldn't.
Yep. Well, we'll see how this shapes out now. Both teams sticking up a cap. Mad Dog finally just about to maybe stick his stern into B here, right at the edge of it. Yep, there he goes. That will presumably draw out some radar from Chukwuama. His radar covering the entire cap. There it is.
I like the decision to wait a little bit longer to go into the cap. Maybe, they're not prepared to argue or fight over or B cap as much, right? More deployments over towards the flanks and all that kind of stuff. That being said, it's funny because Chukwuama's Petro radar catches Triarch out as well in the Kleber.
Yeah. They put a little bit of chip damage into him, but not tremendous amount.
Yeah.
First Poison salvo of the game going downrange on Peyton, getting a little bit of damage there. Peyton well angled to that one, though.
I feel like if you're gonna play Poison like this at this point, you might even be better off just slinging HE. I don't know. Start the fires.
So far, a very even battle taking place on the 9-10 line. Zath, Battleship Nagato's Gdansk holding the door closed so that Phrysis Harugumo can't wrap up Addy's Napoli. Peyton's Vermont coming in with a salvo. Not really getting anything out of it. Most of the work on Addy's Napoli being done by Big Boys Des Moines back there behind smoke.
Surprised he's not making his own Inky yet and smoking, but he's, I guess for right now, just happy to let himself get shot at?
I don't know. With the Petro radar on cooldown, Chikwama's Petro, of course, Mad Dog steps in, grabs B, starts to rotate out of there as RESIN now slowly starting to build. They had about an 8-point lead for several minutes there with both teams on a cap. Now they're starting to grow that up to about 30 points here with about 6 minutes gone.
Isn't there a special challenge for highest potential damage? Maybe that's what Eddie's going for.
I mean, it could be. Could be. I think they've done away with all the challenges by now, right? Like, surely that's a day 1, day 2 sort of thing. Now, Kermit's Poison reversed out of that channel, took a salvo at Peyton, turned his engines on, and now he's moved over like he's going to mess around by the C cap, but he's still just kind of chilling there. They've pulled Todd Howard's Z over to the A cap. Zath, I like this play. He moved through the islands there, crossed in front of the Petro. He's got his fancy hydro up, covering a tremendous amount of area. He should be able to grab the A cap, and that'll help out BONKZ's points gains quite nicely.
Eagle Lance is about to wander into that circle of nope. So this is going to be very interesting. Yeah. There's the flip.
Eagle now turning, almost like he senses this line, Zath. Look at that. Look at that. He stays just ahead of it. Remember, guys, we can see the radius line. He cannot. That's all experience and judgment deciding when to make that turn.
Todd Howard was detected momentarily by Eagle Lance. Remember that
they caught a glimpse of him.
Detection is farther out than his hydro range.
Yeah, it's about Z42 is a 6 kilometer hydro on what, a 6.2 detection?
Something like that.
Something along those lines, I believe. I know there's a small gap there. Both teams very even. The only ship on the board that's really like kind of quote unquote in trouble, I would consider, would be Phrysis Harugumo. He's taken the most damage by terms of percentage there. As now Battleship Nagato gets another radar up for him as they're trying to smoke up the 10 line.
I was gonna say he's about to take more damage. Might even go out. Addy's getting some shells in right now. Oof.
Addy gets a good salvo win. They've got eyes on Battleship Nagato's Gdansk. Now the Poison is getting in on things.
931 hit points on Phryce. Oof.
Well, and the radar has now expired. Phryce on a sliver of health. Are they going to just fish for him?
They do.
They get him. Addy comes in with the hero salvo, blind fire and smoke, spreads him around, picks up a big kill over here on the 10 line.
Now, if you look at where Phryce's Haru is, it's pretty much right in the center. So if he's using that smoke mod that shows the center of that smoke screen, it makes it very easy to blind salvo.
Well, also because up until what, just 6-8 seconds before that salvo went in, right? They had Phryce on radar, right? So they kind of had a pretty good idea where to look. Nagato in a bit of trouble now as Big Boy's Hydro is going to push him. He's having to smoke. Triarch's Kleber trying to get in on this action as well.
That's right. Now Addy's secondaries are beginning to speak with Big Boy 69's Des Moines.
If I'm Big Boy, I don't want to push into that mess. Those secondaries are going to chew me up.
Let's take a look at Nagato's view. He's pulling forward. He might just go for a torpedo YOLO. He's doing it. Engines are up, but he doesn't care.
He's going for the torps. I think they're going to get this kill anyway, Zath. He figures I might as well try for the trade.
Yeah.
He only gets one rack in the water.
Nope, there's the second. He waited for the second.
Let's say Big Boy dodged the first rack. He's not gonna be able to dodge the second. He takes 2 out of the second rack.
I like that.
The DM, I do too. The DM definitely under a big threat here. Again, still stuck under Addy's SAP secondaries. Now with the fire cooking. Heal is a ways off. 68 seconds to a heal. But Triarch's Kleber is moving in to step on this cap.
I mean, you might as well take advantage of the opportunity at least.
They pulled the Poison back towards mid, Zath. He's been in a duel with Peyton. They're going to pick up the kill on Ben, probably with this salvo here. Sorry, with Big Boy. No.
Nope.
Big Boy's dark.
He's dark.
They can't spot. They can't see him anymore.
336 hit points. He's dark for another.
Wow.
He's got the heal in 35 seconds.
Yep, they can't even spot him.
Wow. Oh, Addy's trying for it.
Addy coming in with the blind fire again. Nope. All of those shells too far forward.
Preussen as well trying. I gotta give it to him for trying. That
So
absolutely is what you gotta do.
So do I.
Well,
unable to engineer the trade, then that means both teams on a single kill, as now Testers Colbert contesting the middle of the board here up onto the B cap.
I thought so.
Gotta believe that's gonna draw to Moskva radar.
Thought so. Big Boy 69 is using survivability expert.
Oh, they don't even have to. Mad Dog's got him lit on the surface. Tester
Ooh.
takes a huge AP salvo from the Vermont, from Wolfman.
Saw that. Well, if I'm Tester, I think I'm just gonna hit W for a little bit.
Well, Seth, Todd Howard's he's going back to mid. It almost feels like they've got to make this play, right? They did all that hard work at C, weren't able to retain control of the cap. They do manage to get Addy out, but Big Boy still has 2 more heals in the bank, back up over 10, almost to 10K right now.
Yep. And that's difficult because it's gonna be nigh impossible, I'd say, for BONKZ to get back into C at this point. I mean, they could just throw Seppuku in, but I just don't know that that's...
I don't know. They can't get back onto C.
Get you
and they
anything.
know it, right? It feels like they understand the play is going to be at B, which is why they're bringing Todd Howards over. His Hydro's available. Remember, the Z42 does not have long duration smoke, but it does have smoke, which he's using right now.
Yep. Looked like he got spotted for a
radar
second.
going up. Yep, Mad Dog caught a glimpse of him. Petro radar going up. That's going to keep Mad Dog off the cap for a bit. As he's going to put some conga line torps out for where they think Tester's going to be. Less than 20 points between these teams. 7.5 minutes on the clock, but less than 2 minutes on the game timer as RESIN is about to overtake BONKZ in terms of points.
I'm really surprised $1.99 for guac isn't radaring. It's available. Todd
he hasn't used it.
Yeah. He's got 4 still.
Yeah, he's barely used it. Torps going in on Tester. He sees them coming. Is he going to be able to get out of it, swing his stern out of the way in time? He is.
Oof. But the thing is now, Todd is in the radar circle of Elgar's Des Moines as well.
Yeah, Todd is lit in there, I think, because he was firing. Another big Vermont salvo coming in on his position.
Oh,
and he takes half of his health away as they lose Addy finally over on the 10 line, Zap. That's a huge kill. That's now 30 seconds on the timer here. In a game that BONKZ looked like they'd found a way to get back into, their backs are up against the wall now. They step onto both caps.
I think
they're pushing the poison in.
Yeah, I think Todd is going to go out pretty soon here. Once that happens, I mean that's pretty much GG.
Well, it's either Todd or Tester. They're trying to pick up either one of these kills. Tester's still lit back there.
So is Todd.
Guac's radar is good. They get Todd. That's the game. Ooh, yikes.
Yikes.
They tried to pull out all the stops, couldn't get there.
Yep. So much back and forth. Fantastic first look at our winners bracket final.
I gotta say, if all the games are gonna look like this, we're in for a hell of a ride. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, I need more energy drink. Oh goodness. Well, should we send it back to the studio?
Yeah, let's do it, man. Well, let's see what our commentators have to say.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Game 2 of our winners bracket final. BONKZ versus RESIN. In green to the north is BONKZ, bringing with them Gdansk, that's battleship Nagato, heading towards the middle of the map. Backed up by the Killstars Daring, your typical builds there. Dyer's Gearing is heading towards the sea cap with engine boost going. He wants to get there fast. Behind him is D-Squarius' Des Moines. What are we oohing about?
I'm just looking at the amount of ships headed over there. They're going to meet there when Dyer gets there. But go ahead. Early info radar already going up from the Gdansk.
Very smart. We got Murica in the Vermont sniper scope. Kermit is now in a Montana with sniper spec. Admiral Tester, unique upgrade. Addy, unique upgrade. Des Moines. Todd Howard's in the gearing. Cots build heading towards A. What do we got for the South, Raptor?
RESIN up a game here in this best of 5 winners bracket final, sending 5 ships for the moment over here to the what is this? The eastern half of the map. Starting off with Big Boys gearing here, south side of C, vomiting his torpedoes out, backed up by Elgar's Des Moines. Yep, definitely got some legendary upgrade there. The inside track over here along the islands along the 6-7 line, $1.99 for Guax Petro, catching a glimpse of Dyer there.
Yep.
Shells down range, seeing if they can get a little chip damage in on the gearing early. Just in front of him, Mad Dog's Daring, lurking in smoke here with gun reload and RPF. Behind all that, Wolfman's Vermont. Same build that we saw out of him last game. 4 ships headed over to the western flank, led by Frice's Harugamo. That's the traditional 420 Blazeit build that Zaf likes to talk about. Right behind him, Triarch's Des Moines, legendary and top grade gunner. Just a little closer towards mid is Eagle Lance's Stalingrad, booking for range and top grade gunner. And then right next to him, Peyton's Vermont, again looking like a very similar build as to what we just saw over on Wolfman. Brief reminder, bans for this match. Both teams banning Marseille. Nobody wants to see Marseille, Zaf.
That's right. Nuke it to the ground.
A lot of early radar, a lot of early jockeying for position, a little bit of early chip damage, no early caps.
Right. Now, Eagle Lance in the Stalingrad forced to go bow in, being detected, knowing incoming shells are on their way. Killstar, though, detected in the Daring, has to back off of B. Lots of incoming fire for him.
Yep. He and Mad Dog traded some shells. Killstar coming up perhaps a little worse, but not catastrophically so. Frice's Harugamo now caught moving up the 1-2 line over here with Triarch's Des Moines right behind.
Slapped.
Oh, Triarch.
Yep, slapped by AP.
Yep, big Moskva salvo going in on Triarch as the Montana salvo comes up empty.
Yep. I was about to comment on how the tester was focusing on the Des Moines instead of Frice's Haru, and then the AP.
When the AP came out of the barrel, you learned why.
Yeah, still I think it would have been better going for Frice, but yeah, whatever.
Well, Triarch now basically pushing through the smoke, trying to get all the way to the island, hoping and praying the Montana won't be able to drop shells on him that'll get pens, but having to go bow in to fight the Moskva effectively, still losing half of his HP for the maneuver.
Yep, and if you look at it, Kermit is continuing to go to the side and back so that he can get his shells to arc over this island. We're going to follow this salvo in. This could end right. Nope. Island just says nope.
Can't quite get him over. Gonna have to get farther back off the cap if he wants to lob shells over that headland.
And that's exactly what Kermit is doing right now. No, he does not have the spotting plane booster. So he's only got 45 seconds. He's got time for a couple more salvos. But he's turning, and he's going to flip his bow guns as a result.
Tester had reversed back just far enough that Wolfman took a salvo at him and came up with only about 5 or 6K. Tester's backing up again. I'm kind of expecting to see some shells in the air from Wolfman. Yep, they're already in the air and coming in. Tester is very low, 6K and falling here, finally getting some hard cover, but he's lit on Eagle Lance's Stalingrad radar. He takes one full pin in the bow from the Vermont and managed to hang on at 3K.
Jeez.
Still no cap control.
No.
As Triarch also looking pretty rough back here, finally getting to a heel again. 9K as he moves up into the cap.
Ooh. Vermont salvo's coming in from America. Don't do anything.
Tester moving out from cover? Is he moving?
He's trying to reverse. Get behind this island here.
He's down to 750. Oh. There it is. They only have to get lucky with one Vermont shell, and they do.
Exactly right.
Ermin now putting a salvo down on Triarch's DM. Not getting the kind of hits that his...
Go ahead.
No, is it not getting the kind of hits that he wanted as he's broadside to Peyton's Vermont.
This could hurt.
Wow, surprisingly, your Montana's armor held up to that salvo.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Kermit decided instead of going farther away, he was going to move out to try to punch the Des Moines through the face. More
BONKZ
hits coming in.
BONKZ desperate to convert this kill on Triarch. Montana shells bouncing off of whatever they are. I saw the bounce.
Right?
I don't know what they're bouncing off of.
Probably, I would guess the side armor, the side plating.
They have at least managed to push Triarch back off the cap circle. That's going to allow Addy to convert the cap. So BONKZ will start picking up their first positive points. But Todd Howard's gear and getting slapped around.
Yeah, he just got clobbered. Here comes some more Montana shells.
Triarch still managing to hang on.
I saw a shell bounce off the deck armor. Jeez.
I think, Zath, I think it's almost past time that Kermit should have tried his Flame Tana impression. And I'm really surprised we haven't seen it.
HE would have definitely worked.
Addy pushing up briefly. Not pushing fully around the headland. Not taking the risk. More Montana shells coming in for Triarch. All of them falling astern.
While that's happening, Triarch is continuing to heal.
Yes.
And shoot back, mind you.
And shoot back. And he's never quit shooting. Maybe he has at some point, but like still. Murica's Vermont shells now starting to come in. It's taking them forever to try and convert this kill.
He keeps
Vermont
trying.
salvo comes up empty.
Keeps missing. Killstar is in trouble in the middle.
So what's happening is Triarch is backing up. Kermit fires his guns.
And then he pulls forward.
And then he pulls forward with his
look at
legendary
Addy.
mod is Addy's going to try and accelerate through these torpedoes.
What the?
He's going to take one in the bow.
He's going to die
and then
for free.
Die. I don't understand that maneuver Oh, Peyton. Look at Peyton. Peyton's pushing right up behind him. He's got nowhere to go. Addy's pinched.
Got it. Brilliant play there by RESIN.
Really well executed by RESIN. Can't believe the Triarch has lived this long. Finally, Zath. They pick up the kill on Triarch's Des Moines.
Yep, so now Murica can try to look someplace else with his guns. Where's he gonna look?
Now, we missed it, Zath. How did Killstar die?
Killstar, the Daring?
His Daring just bought it recently in mid.
Yep, north of B. I see him sinking. Murica's got torpedoes coming in. He's fine.
Nah, he's got nothing. Question is Nagato okay? Yeah, he's fine too.
Caught up by Stalingrad radar from Eagle Lance is probably what happened to him.
Presumably.
Radar's on cooldown. So Murica now showing broadside to the Stalingrad a little bit. Forced to turn in. This is not a good position for Murica.
No. Vermont salvo coming in on his broadside. It looks like he might have pulled the handbrake a little bit. Turned into it some.
I mean, Vermont salvo's coming from both broadsides. Because he just had Wolfman salvo a minute ago.
Well, he's out here in between, sandwiched in between both of them because the battleships are on very, very much opposite sides of the map.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, if any of you play ranked battles and play a battleship, this is why you split your battleships at the start of the game.
I have to believe that the next salvo on the Vermont's next salvo will go into Kermit as he takes a torpedo from Todd Howard's gearing off to the north.
Yeah, Vermont takes a torpedo. Yeah.
Vermont just kind of,
Todd just kind of
lurking back here.
Seppuku just got slapped.
Yeah, that's what I said. I knew the Vermont was going to look at him. He slaps the Vermont pretty good in return, but yikes.
Yikes. Both battleships for BONKZ now in the middle of the map. Yeah. Not good. Not good.
Herded into mid with the entire enemy team basically trying to murder them. Nagato trying to smoke and survive. Not failing because of Stalingrad's right there with his radar.
Yeah.
Gdansk is already out of radar. That's Nagato.
Murica did manage to turn his ship around.
He did. He's got torpedoes coming in on his port quarter here.
There's a convenient Vermont-sized gap, though.
There's a large Vermont-sized gap there. That's true. And that will keep him in the game for a little while longer.
Amazing.
Good hit on the Stalingrad.
Mm-hmm.
Big damage in Eagle Lance, but now RESIN on both caps.
Seppuku's at under 3,000.
Look at the health advantage right now.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the
74 to 323. Gee.
Like 300,000 health still on the board for RESIN and barely 80k for BONKZ. Crazy.
Yep. Mad Dog very low, but surviving. So Kermit does manage to get his heal up. Dyer now smoking up his teammate.
Yep.
They're not giving up. BONKZ is still trying very hard. Peyton now going into the Thunderdome.
When was the last time you ever thought you'd see a Vermont in Thunderdome, Zaf?
Well, yeah.
Like, ever.
Ever.
BONKZ, no cap control, way down on health. I cannot envision a scenario where they get back into this game without just some kind of insane luck. Right now, all their units north of B are dark. None of them are visible. Dyer is working on capping B.
Price took a gearing torpedo. So maybe if they reform and wheel right.
Yeah. No, I don't think that's... No. No.
Good movie, but...
Peyton has pretty much never taken his foot off the gas.
No.
Although now turning like he's going to stay in Thunderdome rather than work out of it.
I mean...
Nope,
he's
just
safe.
trying to get a little farther north before he comes around the corner there. All right, starting to get vision now on some more of these BONKZ ships in mid. The Stalingrad radar going up from Eagle Lance. Not in time to keep them from capping B.
Look, another convenient
400 points
Vermont-sized
down.
gap in this torpedo spread. Bye, Dyer. No, yeah. Called it.
Yep, but they're 400, well, 500 and change points down now. More torpedoes going in on Kermit. He will take one more.
Jeez.
As he pushes into his last heal.
Squarius' Des Moines is quite low. He's trying his darndest to live and pull people out.
Poor Kermit, right? He lived this whole time. The Vermont's going to come around the corner and just punch him in the face, and there's literally nothing he can do about it.
Stop, he's already dead.
Yeah, like just ouch.
Wow. Well, Battleship Nagato just sitting there saying, what else am I going to do? It's just... In seconds, the smoke will expire, and then so will.
I mean, they're gonna back to Squarius right here. There you go.
Oh,
Time
Todd goes
accelerating
down.
it. Yep. Murka and Nagato now the last two survivors of their team. Whichever one of them dies, and one of them will eventually, will end the game just because there will be 0 BONKZ points left.
Nagato detected. Oh, Payne had just fired his guns. He might score a time extent. No. But we do get a double death there.
Not quite in time for the time extension, but there you go. RESIN with another solid win here in game 2.
Yeah. Fantastic battle for RESIN. I got to hand to him, you know, that push around. We were both of us, so closely following what was happening.
The Triarch.
Right. And then Addy being forced forward, we're all like, what the heck is he doing, right?
And then you look behind, you're like, oh, that's why. But at least this way he can take somebody with him, maybe.
Right. And that's how you take a ship out from an island. You have to go around both sides. Brilliant execution by RESIN.
Yeah. Well executed. Man, Triarch, the hero Des Moines of that match, Staff. Just crazy.
The little Des Moines that could.
Little Des Moines that did. All right, well, let's throw it back and let Gaishu and BONKZ have their say, guys. We'll see you back here for game 3 shortly.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for this critical game 3 of the North American Winners Bracket Final. BONKZ spawning here in green with their backs to the wall. Got to have a win to stay alive in the Winners Bracket. Let's take a look at what they're doing. We're going with only a 2 destroyer lineup this time. Battleship Nagato's Kleber running Zath, a unique upgrade Kleber there in slot 6.
Yep.
So they stealthier and average Kleber, but with less gunpowder than you might expect or might wish.
Right.
Dyer's Harugumo also running unique upgrade there. All the smoke he can bring. It's a 5 cruiser lineup for BONKZ. So we're looking at double Marseille. That's Tester and Addy. Zooming over here towards the 10 line at present, running gun reload and top grade. Well, Tester's running top grade gunner. Addy is running outnumbered.
Yep.
Slightly behind them, more towards mid. We got Chukwama's Petropavlovsk, reload top grade gunner. Kermit Seppuku's Poison, all the secondaries you can pack into a single build. And that's it for that flank. Headed the other way, We already talked about. Oh no, we didn't. Okay, let's have a look at Bowser's Salem reload and RPF and concealment. Not surprising there. Disquarius' San Martin outnumbered in RPF and all that, and then all backed up by Murica's Ohio here, also running double artillery plotting and a little bit of survivability.
Yep. Hey,
Resin looking go.
take a look at the Salem's build again. Bowser, he's running Hydro.
Oh, okay. I didn't check that.
Yeah.
Hydro, not radar. Okay.
Yeah, with the Hydro upgrade.
Looking
I also
for match point. Go.
want to... Sorry, I keep interrupting you. I want to bring your attention to the Marsilis as well for a sec, Addy and Admiral Tester. If you look, one of them is running the special captain that's got the boosted Grease the Gears and the boosted Adrenaline Rush. Addy is not. And we commented on this a lot with King of the Sea. Everybody gets the captains on the press account, so I'm curious as to why Addy does not have that special captain in the Marseille.
I don't know. But looking for match point, Zath. Talk to me about the Resin lineup. What do we got down here?
So Resin, we've got, and don't forget Schlief and Des Moines were banned. Resin, you know, it's funny. We saw them do this before. They're doing it again, and I'm sure BONKZ did their homework. We saw NACL did their homework earlier and banned the Kremlin. So we couldn't see this, but you guys all get the treat of seeing two Kremlins, Peyton and Wolfman, going to opposite ends of this island between B and C with their Kremlins. Triarch in a Manitar behind an island there with a reload set. We've got a Minotaur as well. That's $1.99 for guac. And Big Boy 69 in his gearing with, your full COTS build. Behind them is Eldar the Smoke Hider, this time in a Moskva with unique upgrade. All that's heading over towards the C cap. Heading over towards the A cap is Eagle Lance's Salem. Now this is a radar Salem, and Frice's gearing in your typical COTS spec. And Mad Dog is trying to back into B. He sees Battleship Nagato, or somebody does. That's the radar.
He does. The radar from the Minotaurs got him picked up. Nagato dived the B cap, picked that up, started picking up some good early points for BONKZ. Already out to a 60-point lead. We're not even quite to the 4-minute mark.
Mm-hmm.
But Mad Dog's going to step onto that, start trying to deny those points shortly.
There he is.
Now, Wolfman and Peyton are doing something a little different than what we saw them. When we saw Resin play this strat earlier in the tournament, Zap, they played it from the north side.
Yep.
And they shoved the two Kremlins on
Nagato.
either side.
Oh,
Is he going to take one of these
I think it'll be
Congatorps?
okay. I think it'll be okay.
Woo!
The first one alerted him.
Basically, if you look at where Kermit is and where Chukwama is, that's where the Kremlins were from Resin earlier on the north spawn.
Dyer's in trouble.
But now, who?
Dyer, on the 9 line.
Oh my goodness, what happened to him?
Radar. All the things.
Oh no.
Just like that. First blood.
Wow.
4.5 minutes in. So sorry, I keep cutting you off this game.
You're fine. You're fine. I wasn't even looking. I didn't expect anybody to have shots over there quite so quickly, but that's what I get for not paying attention. So anyways, but now you see Wolfman and Peyton taking a slightly different kind of track here, moving a little closer towards the B cap as Kermit is now firmly in that gap.
Yeah, it's interesting. We're about to possibly see a Preußen charge two Kremlins that are kind of dug in.
I can't imagine he would make this play, but we'll see.
Yeah, BONKZ is trying to farm up Peyton. Murica has some shots with that Ohio. Here they come. Bowser's also been shooting. Just not doing enough damage. That's the problem with Kremlin. Just doesn't do enough damage quickly enough.
Up a ship. Resin now up a cap as Addy's Marseille, Tester's Marseille getting shells downrange on Wolfman's Kremlin.
The loss, that early loss of that Haragumo, means the Marseilles are on their own.
Yeah.
So you can see they're instinctively already going into a Kaido wave angle. The problem is they can't afford to do that, so they want to do something, but they can't.
Well, I think they understand they've got to get this Kremlin.
Yes.
They got to get one of the Kremlins out of position before they can start pushing.
Exactly.
The struggle they're going to have is, I feel like unless the Preußen moves up, they're not going to get it. Now, is Nagato maybe going to charge one of these Kremlins, Zach?
I think they have him ready to go, and they might shove both at once. If they can get attention on the Preußen and then Nagato shows up in the Kleber, that's going to help. Now, Kermit does have the Hydro going, which was allowing Triarch to be shot at for a while.
This is coming for sure now.
Oh, yes.
Nagato's going.
Ram.
San Martin and the Salem ram each other's out.
Foxtrot 1 Island. Makes sense. Don't even try for the drive-by. Just get the ram. Nagato's been spotted. They know it's coming. Here comes the Kremlin shells. Do nothing.
Triarch not really able to support. Nagato gonna land some of these torpedoes. Is it gonna be enough for the kill? It should.
I think so. Yep.
It is. All right, they get the Kremlin out now. They're gonna be able to grab C. They're gonna lose control of A. As now the Poison, Kermit, actually not in a terrible position, Zap.
No, but look at the Ohio. Murica now coming into the B cap.
Yeah, it feels like they've just kind of said, all right, everybody go. Everybody push.
I like it. Be aggressive. That's what needs to happen.
It's not the worst play as Kermit wipes out the Minotaur trying to rush him.
What a kill.
Murica now stepping onto B, backed up by Bowser's Salem. Price secures A and heads back towards the middle of the board.
Yep, Nagato under radar now. That expires, goes down.
Yep, they're trying to get shells in on the Moskva now.
I look at Chukwama coming on the other side. They're going to try to get...
They're basically going to force the Moskva into either... He's going to have to go out and eat the Colbert's torpedoes.
Doesn't even need a torp, just gun.
No,
probably Citadel slap him out.
Gonna torp him.
I'm just thinking that takes more time. And,
now Nagato is radared. They'll probably finally lose him here. You have to believe they're gonna finally lose him.
Mm-hmm.
And yet somehow he gets narrowed to the Minotaur again before the shells land.
Wow.
And so now it's a 2-ship lead for BONKZ. 4 resin ships on the bottom of the ocean already. I'm waiting for the Poison Kremlin fight to happen, but it hasn't yet. BONKZ picks up B.
Ooh, $1.99. Just got slapped by Chukwama's Petro. And I think Battleship Nagato is done playing this game for now.
The Petro should be able to penetrate the Minotaur from literally any angle he shoots him at.
Yep.
There should be no safe angle that the Minnow can give the Petro that he will not get slapped. And there he goes.
Murica coming around the corner now, getting into Peyton's face. And
finally Seppuku moves up for the same reason. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Big hit on Peyton.
Yeah. I like how Bowser is behind Murica with Hydra going. I mean, good job, mutual support right here.
Yep. Taking care of his teammate. 7 surviving BONKZ ships, only 4 surviving resin ships. All of them well back off of cap circles. Zath, I'm pretty sure we're going to game 4.
That's great. You know what map that is?
Everyone's favorite, where anything can happen, and the rules are made up, and the points don't matter. You know, Zath, we normally comment about how it's bad when you've got both of your battleships in the same place, but I don't think that's the case here for BONKZ. For starters, they didn't start out there.
No.
Right? The Ohio pushed through the B captain up in this position, and the Poison, Kermit, really good work threatening the Kremlin. With the one Kremlin they were able to bag the kill on, punching out the Minnow, doing great work on the other Kremlin. This was well executed.
Absolutely. BONKZ did a fantastic job. Now, mind you, remember, their Haragumo died 4.5 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
And yet, here we are. So you're right. BONKZ doing a fantastic job of holding on to this game, not willing to go out, forcing a game 4. Love it.
All the resin destroyers running for the I or J lines here. I'm kind of surprised they haven't bothered to take Bowser's Salem and just head back towards A, and might as well grab the cap,
I think they're concerned his hydro is down, right? So they don't want to move him someplace where he could potentially take torpedoes. Poison's hydro is up, so there's a little bit more, comfort there for the battleships.
The Poison's hydro is up, and one thing that's interesting, they're turning into the Ohio's turning. Actually, I think he'll be okay.
Yep.
But one thing that these torpedo angles tell them is that the destroyers are way back off the caps.
Yes.
And so now Bowser should be able to move into A with at least some amount of confidence.
Yep.
Mad Dog's daring opening fire. They know this is over.
Oh, yeah. At this point, they know it's all over. So let's just get on to the game 4. We thank you all. So now the question's going to become, who's going to be the one to trigger the game? Right? Is Mad Dog going to die and that's going to do it? Big Boy 69 is dark. Tester's got his Hydra going. He'll probably dodge most of this hate. Finds a gap.
I gotta say, Zath, MVP back here in the back, lurking around, not dead.
Oh.
Battleship Nagato.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, you know, it was a thing of beauty. We both caught at the same time. I love that execution of sending both together, forced Resin to kind of, you know, what are we going to do, right? How are we going to handle this?
Yeah.
Where are we going to shoot?
Now, I want to point something out. This is the only match of the only game of the entire match that Marseille was not banned by Resin. And BONKZ, of course, immediately 2 Marseilles down the 10 line, crush things. Right?
Thank you, please. Can we do it again?
Thank you, please and thank you, right? So, going into game 4, Marseille again back on the banned list. Now, is that a big deal on Faroe? I don't know. We've seen plenty of teams win on Faroe without a Marseille.
I think it's gonna be interesting to see both of these teams play it out. I don't necessarily think I have a favorite going into that.
No.
So
I don't think you can.
No.
But it's going to be interesting, Zath, because you and I have seen a lot of really interesting games on Faroe Islands. A lot of close games. That no cap 2 OP game that came down to the wire.
Yes.
A particular favorite. And so I'm going to be really interested to see what teams of this caliber bring to a map that new and that intriguing.
Salem does go into AC. Now he went in, but his Hydro is available. Right? So you go in when it's safe.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Battleship
Well, in the
Nagato
end,
taking a
is he
victory
even gonna
lap in the back of
Is
the
he
map.
even going to have time to get it? He is barely going to have time to cap A before time expires. Yeah, Nagato can just chill back here and grab a sandwich, right?
Yep.
No worries. I did my job. The rest of you guys can clean this mess up.
Look at Mad Dog chilling on 3 hit points.
3
The ultimate
HP.
disrespect. Ultimate disrespect.
Does he have any heals left?
Yes.
He's still got a heal left. Oh, that's hilarious. 3 HP. What a riot.
Outstanding.
Like we said, well executed from BONKZ. They claim game 3 as we have to now go back and get ready for game 4.
That's right. We'll see you back in a little bit.
Indeed. We'll see you guys in a moment.
All right, everybody. Welcome to a sunny day on Faroe Islands. We're in game 4, winners bracket final, Resin versus BONKZ. My map. Here we go. Frice in our COTS build gearing, Mad Dog in a typical daring, and Triarch in his Gdansk, followed up by Eagle Lance in a range build Stalingrad, Elgar the Smoke Hider in a Salem, that is radar, $1.99 for Guac in a Petropavlovsk with range, Big Boy 69 in a unique upgrade Des Moines, Peyton the Rock Hider in a Sniper Spec Vermont with DCP in slot 1. Wolfman, also Sniper Spec, although he wants more uptime for his spotting plane in slot 1. Raptor, what's BONKZ bringing in red?
BONKZ still hanging on by their fingernails, just having fresh off their victory in game 3, fielding a triple destroyer lineup of their own, spearheaded by Dyer's gearing here, headed as a part of this 4-ship echelon down towards the sea cap. He's backed up by Admiral Tester's Petropavlovsk range and top grade gunner. Disquarius's Des Moines unique upgrade and outnumbered. And Kermit now moving into a Bourgogne Zath, one of your favorites, going with some survivability build, a little bit of extra healing power, and all the reload he can pack into the hull.
And brisk for the speed too.
Well, yes, of course. I mean, French battleship. Battleship Nagato's Gdansk moving aggressively here to the middle, headed towards B right away. Backed up by Chukwuema's Stalingrad, also running range. Very popular build on this map. Heading north, only 3 ships. Todd Howard's gearing. Very standard COTS build. All the torpedo reload you can pack into that hull. Addie's San Martin with Outnumbered and Reload. And Murica's Montana, who for the moment is kind of slowly trolling here, playing a little towards mid. Taking just blind. He's firing at the darkness, Zaf, I think, just to see who can spot him from there.
He is casting Magic Missile.
Casting Magic Missile at the darkness.
And attacking the darkness, that's right.
Quick reminder, banned ships for this match. Again, Marseille back on the ban list, and Harugamo finally finding its way there.
Yeah, odd pick for that, but we've seen a lot of 420 Blaze Up builds with Haru, so I guess I can see that.
For both teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, for both teams. It forces you into picking a slightly different ship to do the smoke tricks.
Yeah, like a gearing.
Like a gearing, which both teams have taken at least one gearing, right? So I get it. You know, but at the same time, I mean, Smoke Yang is also a possibility, right? If you're interested in that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Now, one thing worth pointing out, Zath, and we've talked about this in other games on Faroe Islands, but for the moment, RESIN with a much heavier deployment up around AB, 6 ships lurking around that cap, only 3 ships back towards D, whereas BONKZ opting for a 4-ship echelon down at C. You have to presume they're going to make the turn and push D, only using 3 ships hanging around mid and 2 ships up near the A cap playing defense.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice. I think we're seeing the home cap push being a lot more popular amongst teams on this map.
The strategy has certainly turned out to be popular. The execution has not always worked in everyone's favor. It just depends on circumstances.
That's right. All right, we got a destroyer slap fight. Daring detected on radar. Nagato smoking up at B cap, getting some chip damage into Mad Dog.
Well, Nagato took a radar. They pushed him off the cap with the Stalin or the Petro radar, one of the two. I forget which.
Petro.
I think it was the Petro radar. Yeah. And so now he's returning the favor, pushing Mad Dog off the cap with his own radar. Oh no, that wasn't his. That was Chukwama's radar. My apologies.
Yeah. Yeah, Nagato's is still available, which is important if Mad Dog decides he wants to back up again.
4 minutes gone, both teams on a cap. A and B, a bunch of ships staring angrily across open water as the C line, what we presume is going to be a BONKZ push from C to D, starting to kind of work its way into position. Tester's Petro taking the inside track. Dyer's Gearing leading the way. You have to believe that once his smoke goes up, the Squarius and Kermit will be right on his heels.
Mad Dog narrowly dodging Gdansk torpedoes there. I mean, he's got Hyzer going, but wow.
Another
Nagato
radar
detected?
coming in on Nagato. Yep. Stalingrad radar picking him up. He takes a little more chip damage, but still in the game at about a little over half HP.
Yep. Admiral Tester's Petro radars.
Reversing now. There goes the Gdansk radar, about to pick up Mad Dog on the surface right there. So now the shells will come in from Nagato, and Mad Dog will have to get off the cap. Oh, the games we play, Zath. Yeah, they picked up Tester.
Oh, big hit on Todd Howard's. I think that was a torpedo he took. And
Triarch's Gdansk also not looking very good up here.
Yeah, and Peyton just took a couple of gearing torpedoes. Yeah, Todd hasn't been detected yet, so that had to have been torpedoes.
Well, Big Boy also got slapped by something, Zaf. Might have been the Montana, might have been the Stalin, not sure. But his DM down here on the bottom of the map at about half HP. They know there's more than Tester.
He's been backing off. He was radared earlier, and that's probably where the shells were coming in from. I would think it would have been the Stalingrad that had his side, but in any case, they're being pushed back. The home cap push is working so far for BONKZ.
Mad Dog's daring, grabbing B for RESIN. They'll start to tick up a small cap advantage here.
More torpedoes
6
coming into
minutes
Mad
gone.
Dog. He doesn't have Hydro this time. Oh.
Yikes.
I think in real life the propeller might have triggered that, that torpedo.
So now, Zath, they're moving Chukwama's Stalin around the corner of the island. They're moving everybody out, right? Nagato's Gdansk out here trying to start to farm some health off of Eagle Lance, and he's able to get those shots for free from his current position. They've got eyes on Big Boy again.
Yes.
More big AP salvos headed downrange in his direction.
Big Boy is radaring. He's trying to farm out Dyer, but, I mean, Dyer's full health, so...
They can see Dyer, but it looks like he's only getting the stern turrets on.
Yeah. Yeah, Big Boy is obviously forced to try to, you know, not die, because he's quite low on health. He's got a heal ticking, though. Bryce opening up, realizing, well, they're not going to shoot me anyway. They're going to shoot my teammate.
Yep. Kermit's Burgonia now well spotted, emerging from the smoke cloud left by Dyer. Putting his HE downrange on Big Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Presumably on Big Boy. They have to be trying to convert this kill.
I mean, Big Boy's running out of map to kite away to.
Oh, big hits.
Yeah.
5K burning, healing and burning.
Heal is down. Heal is out.
Heals fires, there you go. Big kill. BONKZ claims first blood here. Up on points, but down on caps. 8 minutes played.
All right, so with RESIN losing that ship, are they going to then decide to push at A? I mean, if I'm RESIN, I'm thinking I gotta do something.
I think they're making the exact opposite call. If you check out Triarch and Peyton, it almost feels like they're pulling ships back to receive this push.
Well, yeah, I see that. Now, typically in tournaments, and the game in general, when you push, you have to give up HP to do it. They're not in a position where they want to give up that HP, so they're going to instead try to receive the push and try to chip down more of BONKZ. It could work. We'll have to see.
Yeah, the HP on each team actually fairly even, as it's actually Battleship Nagato's Gdansk that's going to lead the way into the decap here. Dyer's smoke going up to block vision for the ships behind him. Gdansk pops his radar, knows Fries is pushed off the cap.
I would like to also mention I really liked how Battleship Nagato radared just to check the decap first. Saw nothing. Now he's smoking and shooting Eagle Lance to Stalingrad, trying to back him off.
Yep. Well, with the radar moved off of this flank, they know the smoke clouds become a little more safe, especially given that they pushed Eagle Lance so far back. They should be able to grab and retain control of the decap, as RESIN's also making a play for A up here, Zaf, between Elgar and Mad Dog's Daring.
Well, it's almost like they saw the Petro come back, and as soon as you see that battleship leave the area, right, you're like, okay, well, they might be, as you said, rotating ships to go receive the push. I like this aggression. I really do.
Mad Dog's Daring gonna easily dodge these torpedoes with his hydro cooking. Addy trying to get shells into Elgar, but I mean, from that angle, he might get a little bit of chip damage. It's not going to be worth much. Yeah,
this is a very, very strong position for Salem to be in. We've seen this before from this spot. It's going to be very difficult for BONKZ to farm out Elgar here, especially with a San Martin. That's just, you're not going to do it.
Now, just like that, we're over the halfway mark of the game. There's only 40 points between these two teams as finally all of the caps are owned. I gotta say, Zaf, I'm a little surprised. You know, you talked about maybe RESIN pushing through A. When you look at how isolated, you pull up the map, you look at how isolated Addy and Howard's are. It's like, man, if they really got pushed, you could probably convert those kills.
And I almost wonder if RESIN is thinking about that. If you look at Peyton, he's in Vermont, so you know he's got to launch all the rocket engines, but he's heading that way right now.
So now you're BONKZ, Seth. You've picked up the CCAP. Your D-pick has worked. You're up on it. You're up a ship. Now what? How do you sustain this and carry this through to victory in your mind?
Well, is BONKZ winning right now?
Yes.
So,
but you have to go ahead.
What they need to do is make sure they minimize mistakes. They got to get into a position to receive a push. They have to expect something coming through the A cap at some point. Addy's detected right now. He's radaring, catches Mad Dog out. So they absolutely can't afford to lose, like Addy, for example. Anybody, for that matter. They got to be very, very good at using hydro and rotating through that. That's the hardest part of this game, is just holding, because as soon as one person goes down, gets slapped, everything becomes more tenuous.
Yeah.
Like if I'm Addy, I'm not even gonna sit in this smoke, for example.
Well, Addy still has adequate heals left, right? And I think we have to remember that the San Martin, one of the things here is Addy just cares about landing shell hits to speed up the cycle on the funny button, the ability that the San Martin has, right? She's not really worried about, don't really care about damage per se. Just got to land shell hits.
And I'll tell you what, of all the games in King of the Sea this season we have cast,
whoa,
I just haven't seen it be that effective. What are we holding about?
Peyton just got dunked for 40K from Murica's Montana.
I can see that, yeah. Let's take a look at that shot. Beautiful angle.
Oh, he had a great angle for it. Peyton wasn't really paying attention or looking. I'm not sure. Didn't think Murica's guns were flipped, but either way, Murica lands it. Big hits.
I don't think Murica... Well, yeah, he might have been spotted. He probably would have been. Well, he's trying it again, I think.
Thrice is
Disquarius!
Oh, what happened there?
He got caught broadside, got 1-2 punched. Wolfman's Vermont in the face, followed with Eagle Lance's Stalingrad. Wow. And what was I talking about? Minimize mistakes.
Don't make mistakes. Well, they're going to use that to their advantage because now, I'll say, Thrice had been edging nearer to the cap, caught on radar now.
Yeah.
They pushed Nagato off. All kinds of torpedoes out here looking for Nagato and Kermit.
Yep. Torp's coming by Triarch. He's fine. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, he was stern on. Okay. I'm looking at the Des Moines. He was stern on. So those were butt citadels possibly from Wolfman's Vermont.
Very possibly. That's something that Des Moines' armor scheme allows for if the shells land in the right place.
It's got a flat
take
rear.
citadels right through this very flat stern.
Triarch raidering, catching Dyer out. Whoa, this is not good for Dyer.
No, Dyer's angled away. He's going to have to make some plays here, and I think it's really the Vermont salvo that's going to hurt him. Thrice is not going to open up here.
No.
Thrice is not going to risk taking the damage, so it's really all on Triarch and Wolfman to land damage on Dyer as the radar expires.
Yeah. So one thing about the Gdansk radar, it gives them info, but not a lot of uptime.
Yeah, it doesn't. What is it, like 15 seconds maybe? It's not much.
No, yeah.
Well, it's a 60-point lead in holding for Resin. 5.5 minutes to play.
It's about to be bigger. Todd Howards is 381.
Todd Howards is going out. They're fishing for this kill. They want it. They know they got to have it. Mad Dog's also very, very low back there.
Yep.
Todd Howards has still got one more smoke left. He and Addy have been just doing the Lord's work at this A-cap for so long, Zaf.
Yeah, it's interesting that two people have been holding back essentially the majority of this team, right? Okay. Blind shots coming in. Oh, Triarch goes down.
That's a huge kill. Dyer getting a little bit of revenge there. That flips the points back now. Now it's a 30-ish point, 40-point lead, almost exactly, for BONKZ here. Now, have a look at Chukwama. They've pulled the Stalingrad out. I've been looking at that ship for a while going, why are they leaving him there? He's got nothing to shoot at. They're finally moving him north. And I'm betting he's going to cut straight up the 4 line and come sit right here on the south side of this cap with his guns looking and his radar looking north to try to pick up this kill on Mad Dog.
Look at Elgar just guessing as much as he can. Love it. Yeah, One shell.
They know how low that gearing is.
4 minutes to go in this game. 4 minutes.
Yep. It's going to come down to the wire however it comes down.
And the thing is, if I'm Todd, I don't even want to smoke right now. I'm sure
you tell him where you are. That's terrible.
Exactly. Now, Mad Dog, I'm sure, is using radio location. He's pinging on the map, right? Elgar, does he have radio location? He does. So between the two radio locations, they can kind of triangulate, and that's where those shells were coming. You saw they came very close.
I saw the Stalin salvo go in on Elgar, and I think Elgar was not expecting those shells. It knocked out one of his turrets.
And
he does take a torpedo.
3 minutes, 30 seconds now. This is a close game.
About as close as we've seen. Again, 40 points between the teams.
Chukwama
Info radar
radar
going up from Chukwama now. They can see Peyton pushing in. shoes firmly on RESIN's foot to make a play. They have to do something to force a change in the status quo because they're currently trailing.
And the thing is, I mean, the only place they can really push is through caps they already own.
Yeah.
So what are you going to get from that?
I mean, you've got to... Luck? I mean, I don't know. I like Chukwuema's position because I think it's an acknowledgement of exactly what you just said. BONKZ is like, all right, you want to push through here to hunt down and secure these kills to flip the score.
Yep.
You're going to pay for it, right?
And
I've got my Stalin railguns ready for you.
I want to point out Todd Howard's now in the gearing. He is purposely farther away from...
Than he needs to be.
No, from Mad Dog and from Elgar. So what I was talking about, that radiolocation triangulation, look, they're shooting at Addy right now with radiolocation. They're thinking that's where the destroyer is. I love that.
They were blind firing at the RPF triangulation position.
Yes.
And now Addy opens up.
What?
I have to believe Peyton's guns are looking the other way. Why else would you take this risk? Yeah, Peyton's guns are looking like back over his left shoulder.
Okay.
I'm not sure why you do this, but that's what he's doing. 2 minutes now. Still a 40-point lead for BONKZ. This is a must-win games for BONKZ if they want to stay in the winner's bracket.
That's right. And force a game 5.
Price is gearing now, again, edging towards the edge of the cap here. I'm betting we're going to see him step back on. Either that or they're going to shove Wolfman in, one or the other.
Yeah.
Maybe both.
Well, Battleship Nagato smoke is about to... Well, he just put his smoke down, so he'll be able to farm for a little bit longer.
Well, Wolfman is going to miss the Gdansk torps, but he's not going to miss the gearing torps. He's going to take at least one of these. Right on the midships, right on the belt. If they shove Wolfman in and just stop those points, they don't even have to cap. Just by denying those points to BONKZ, it allows them to overtake. Radar now coming up from Tester.
Yep, just throw the brick in. I love that radar. Catches Frice.
Yep, they can see Frice now.
All the radars going up now. Everybody's radaring. If they've got radar, they're using it.
You got to pull out the stops now, guys. You're under 60 seconds. The points continue to close now. It's less than a 30-point lead for RESIN.
44
They're trying to get a
seconds.
kill on Frice. They aren't going to get it. Frice ducks out of the radar. Back in very briefly.
Oh my God, look how close the score
20-point lead,
is.
30 seconds. Stalingrad, look at Chukwuema. He's headed to B. If they can get him onto B and hold him there with a lead, that's good enough if everybody lives. They're going to pull it off with about a 10-point lead.
Lives.
If everyone lives. And right there it is. It's a 16-point lead. 12-point lead, excuse me, for BONKZ.
Seconds remaining. Wolfman taking all the hits. Wolfman's going out.
There it is. That's it. When Wolfman goes down, that secures the game for BONKZ. We're going to game 5, Zach.
Game 5!
What a well-executed game from both teams.
Oh.
Do you feel like maybe RESIN played it a little too safe and sat a little too long?
Yes.
Okay.
100% towards the end there.
Yeah, definitely towards the end. They kept, they moved Frice back in towards that decap a couple of times to try to steal it or bait a radar or something, and they kept trying, and I kept looking at it going, man, there's 4 ships around there. I'm not sure how you're ever going to get back into D. I feel like, we talked about the push earlier, up against Addy or Todd Howard's might have made a difference, but we'll never know.
Yeah, a great job by both teams. In the end, I think what really did it was rotating Chukwuema back up to the north there just to close off that whole avenue of push.
And he ends up being the hero of the game by diving into the B cap and stopping. So then everybody's only taking up 1 cap, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. So that makes all the difference. Well, all right, lots to unpack here.
Yeah. Let's send it back to the studio. Let them unpack. We'll unpack. Yeah.
Go casters.
All right, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 5. Everyone's favorite. It's time for Do or Die. Winner take all in this best of 5 series against BONKZ and RESIN here at the top of the winner's bracket here in King of the Sea 16 North America. Spawning in the green on the top end of Loop, we have a 4-destroyer lineup for BONKZ, starting with Killstar's Ragnar. We've got Battleship Nagato's Kleber, Todd Howard's is Daring, and Dyer's Harugumo. Now that Harugumo's off the ban list, people are there's three of them in this game, so
They come out to
definitely
play
going
again.
back. They come out to play again, 100%. Disquarius' Des Moines headed over here towards the decap, running outnumbered and unique upgrade there. Tester's Moskva, unique upgrade RPF. Looks like he might be headed towards the C cap. Bit of an interesting choice there. Addy's Sam Martin, one of the heroes of BONKZ's win in Game 4, headed over towards the A cap. Behind him, Murica's Vermont running the same build we've been seeing these guys run for a while. And then the other battleship Kermit in Vermont as well with a near identical build. Zath, RESIN went 2-0 very quickly in this series. Now we're looking at Game 5. What are they bringing to try to close this deal out?
Yeah, with the possibility, by the way, of a reverse sweep.
Very possible.
That seems to be an NA thing sometimes, once upon a time. Anyway, let's take a look at RESIN wearing red in this dance. They have Big Boy 69 working into the B cap already, getting into the home cap there. Try to get that point tick up early. Running your typical COTS build gearing. Behind him is Peyton the Rock Hider in the Ohio with Sniper build. Going into the middle, Price is now smoking up with his 420 Blaze It smoke for Elgar, the Smoke Hider in his Des Moines. Look how aggressive. Look at these two smoke screens, Eagle Lance and Price. Both. Yeah. I mean, wow. Who wants to go into C now, folks? So Triarch is moving up in his unique upgrade Des Moines. Elgar is also sitting there ready to go in his unique upgrade Des Moines. Eagle Lance with his 420 Blaze It, getting across Mad Dog, who's ready to go at a moment's notice. Look at those torpedoes right behind Eagle Lance. $1.99 for Guac in the Moskva in that central location so he can cover all of C and beyond in his radar. Let's take a look at these torpedoes as they come in just to make sure that they'll be fine.
Well, look at the radar, the early radar coming off a Triarch. All the shells in the world going downrange on Todd Howard's.
That's right. The last ship to mention is Wolfman 85 in the Vermont Sniper Spect with his spotter plane up right now. You better believe those shells are coming in.
Quick reminder, guys, banned ships this game would be Marseille and Gdansk. Now, just looking at early deployment, Saf. I mean, if you're BONKZ, you don't want any part of the CCAP. Holy crap. Look at that. Look at that.
I love that sea of red that RESIN has put together there in the south. Also, Wolfman just got slapped a little bit by, I believe that was Kermit's Vermont. But it's interesting, you've got a solo Vermont holding this cap. RESIN putting it all into grabbing C, maybe getting a pick early, but then once C is grabbed, they can then rotate to the flank. And they're also possibly fixing to push up the one line, something we haven't really seen a team do, especially from the south. I like it.
Yeah, we have seen, well, no, that's not entirely true. We have seen some teams push from the south, but this western flank on loop has played very lightly in most of the games that we've seen it, right? When you see it, it's like a 3-ship push, right? Like, what did we see once? We saw like Shimakaze, Des Moines, Montana kind of thing.
Yep.
And they pushed into, Ohio, San Martin, and Gearing.
Right.
So it wasn't like an all-out rumble.
No.
But the possibility exists, I'd say, a little more in this game just because of how RESIN is deploying to that flank. Certainly the concentration of ships they have towards mid is going to allow them to grab C. Can they hold it? That's going to depend, I think, on what they leave behind.
Absolutely. And you can see Triarch already starting to rotate with Eagle Lance's Hargamo, so they're gonna link up and they're gonna go together, almost like a certain other game you and I play, civilian units being escorted by military. I love this. And then look at the big boy setup. He's going up, getting ready to go up that one line. He's getting some vision right now. Who's out there? I'm sure they're expecting to see Addy San Martin. Once they do, they'll know that that's the kite side for...
I think this is the first time we've seen Big Boy in a destroyer and not a cruiser, Zaf.
I could have sworn we saw him in a gearing in an earlier game as well.
Maybe I missed it.
It's okay.
Or just forgotten.
Yeah.
Torpedo's coming across Addy's position here. He's going to know now there's a gearing out there. Gearing's going to know Addy's there because right there, Addy takes one.
Addy does take one now. Radio location pointing directly at Big Boy 69, and Big Boy 69 obviously has radio location pointing back at Addy. So they know where each other is, relatively speaking. That's about all they know so far.
It's an early lead for BONKZ, but it's literally a 6-point lead, so it's not like anything, you know, you're going to get excited about, or, you know, it's going to break the game open.
Not right now, but I'll tell you that extra point lead, I mean, at a certain point, BONKZ will have to do something because they are down just ever so slightly on point.
You mean
RESIN? RESIN. Sorry, yeah.
Yes.
There's Addy with the
smoke. Go ahead.
Addy with the radar catching Big Boy 69's gearing. He does a full about face and actually took a good amount of AP because of that.
Got some good damage into Big Boy. A little surprising, actually.
Mm-hmm.
As he started to shoot over the island at Peyton's Ohio, as Peyton returns the favor.
Yeah, the shells high-fiving each other in flight.
Indeed.
Good hits down.
Addy taking some full pins down the long axis of the ship, but nothing catastrophic.
Mm-hmm. Addy does have tighter up.
I look now at the map and it feels like BONKZ has given up on C, right? Look at Todd Howard's daring. Look where he's going.
Yeah.
More shells coming in on Addy from the Ohio. Ooh, solid hit.
Yeah.
About 14, 15K there.
I think the big thing is BONKZ has to know that there are forces approaching the decap. Matter of fact, with radio location, they absolutely know it.
I mean, Des Moines here doesn't have RPF. The Harugumo does, but the Harugumo is going to be picking up $1.99.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, let's look at this for a minute. If I sit on Dyer, it's 10-6 to the Moskva and 12-4 to the Harugumo. So, yeah, like that's... His RPF is still pointed towards the C cap.
In a little bit, it's about to make a 90-degree turn.
It is. Agreed. But my point is that I think that maybe to some extent, you know, this is this kind of high-level play where you start to see teams use RPF information to sort of, I won't say bait out each other, but I will say deceive each other.
Yes. Yes, I would completely agree with you there.
Addy having to pull way back off the A-cap under the concentrated fire of Des Moines and Harugumo shells.
And you notice they brought Killstar in with the Ragnar to try to seal the deal on Big Boy 69's gearing.
Well, and they turned Tester's Moskva around as well. In fact, his radar goes up now. They want to know what's around C, and they can now clearly see that there's only 2 ships left behind from that Hornet's nest that was there earlier. And now we're already starting to see shells go in on Eagle Lance's Harugumo as the smoke cloud moves up the 9 line towards the decap.
Look at the, I was gonna say, look at that decap. Wow. Oh, Triarch just gets smacked.
Triarch taking a big hit there. Was that the Vermont?
That was Kermit punching him in the face. Yes.
Yep. Kermit continuing to reverse, looking for that shot. They've got eyes on the Des Moines right now because Disquarius' radar is ticking, but it's about to expire. Really like this position for Disquarius, Saf. It leaves him somewhere to run.
Yep.
Which some of the other islands on this flank don't necessarily afford you.
Yeah, especially on this side, yeah.
We didn't talk about it, Saf, but remember how quickly the points tick up on loop? Look at the score. We're not even to the 10-minute mark. It's now a 6-point lead for BONKZ, but we're getting close now to one of these teams being over 800 points.
Yep.
Starts to become a little danger zone problem where you can't lose a ship once the opposing team crosses over that magical threshold. Yep. Killstar's radar goes up and picks up Big Boy over here south of A.
Ohio takes a torpedo. That's Peyton. Forced out the DCP. I mean, he's not going to go anytime soon. Killstar is absolutely the focused threat target for RESIN.
Yep. It's a big... I mean, they desperately need any kill they can get. And he's the lowest thing they certainly can see. He's really the only BONKZ ship that's even, I'd say, even really under threat.
Yeah, I don't like Killstar's trying to just play it too much, and because of that, he's taking a lot more hits than he needs to. And he's going to go down here, I think, because he might even hit the torpedo. Nope, the torpedo's going to stop him while he's spotted.
He's still lit because he's burning. He has to stop for the torpedoes.
2 seconds on his heel.
Yeah, they're going to kill him. They're going to kill him. He's dead.
Yep, there it is. Big mistake there.
Now, they may pick up Frice. Maybe. Addy's certainly trying to do his best there. 4,500 points.
Oh, 73.
Oh, 73 health on Addy. Oh, my goodness.
Where are the shells? They stopped. They stopped.
Yep.
Eddie switched targets. Big boy opening up.
Yep.
They fell for the bait. Wow.
60 seconds from a RESIN win here now, Zath, as Frice limps south on 70 HP. BONKZ has to have a kill or to step onto a cap, but at this point, a cap is not going to win this game. You've got to get a kill. Where are you going to get it?
Well, Nagato going in. He's fishing for one of the Kleber. $1.99 for Guac. People shooting him, trying to get him down.
Trying to farm him. 90 seconds now.
809.
Nagato's onto the cap. They get him.
They get him. They get him.
$1.99 goes down. Nagato onto the cap. No way for them to defend it, I don't think, although some shells are coming in on Nagato.
Yeah.
None of them for the reset. Is the Daring going to get a reset? He doesn't. Nagato's going to cap this cap.
Yeah.
And just like that, Zath, you're going to be less than 60 seconds from a BONKZ win.
From a reverse sweep.
There it is. 30 seconds. RESIN has to have a kill now. They're on to A.
They
Buys
get on
them
A.
some time.
Mm-hmm.
Only 10 seconds, though. We went from like 30 seconds to like 40 something.
Yeah. How can they come back? What can they do?
I think step onto D. I don't know.
Well, that's exactly what's about to happen. Look at the horror.
I think Eagle Lance is going for it just because it's like, well, why not? We got to do something, kids.
Yeah, it'll trigger the. Nope, there is no radar, but it doesn't matter. He's got to get on this cap. He does. There it is.
18 seconds.
Now
He's
30.
on the cap. 30 seconds now. Okay. 982 for the Haruk. 982 now.
Dyer opening up.
Dyer got to be very careful here, Dyer. There's a lot of firepower coming in on you. You can't afford to die.
No.
991.
He's getting. Oh, big hit there on Eagle Lance. That was Kermit again in the Vermont. Eagle Lance.
How many times have we seen a Vermont dunk a destroyer in this tournament? There it is. BONKZ with the reverse sweep. Zap. They narrowly survive loop.
Oh.
They claim the winner's bracket.
Wow.
Wow. What else can you say? Wow.
Wow.
Wow. I mean, so one of the things about Loop, we mentioned it, right? It's got that weird bug right now where the caps points tick up faster than they should for a 4-cap map.
Yes.
I think maybe each team factor that into their strat here, right? But it feels like I don't think anybody really made any big mistakes. Do you? I think it just came down to the right kills at the right time and a little bit of luck, maybe.
I mean, these teams were so evenly played. We went to Game 5, guys. This has been fantastic. So let's get back to the studio and do the things.
Stay on. We're doing full room. And all 4. Go.
Gentlemen, that was a reverse sweep in the winners bracket finals of COT 16 NA.